cuffs are off, man.
Hey everybody, Adam Rank here.
What's up, friends? Daniel Dopp here from the Fantasy Focused Football Podcast over on ESPN.
It's Fabs here, Michael Fabiano from Sports Illustrated.
You know who you can trust if you've got some questions about your fantasy squad?
Want to check out a cool show on YouTube that'll help you get ready for the fantasy football season?
Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network.
Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network. If you are not subscribed, what are you waiting for? You want to lose your league?
Head on over to YouTube. Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network because they're doing everything they can to make you a better fantasy player.
You got to get right with the Get Right Fantasy Network.
So go and roll your sleeves up. Yeah, go and roll your sleeves up. And I'm getting down cause I roll my sleeves up. And I'm getting right cause I roll my sleeves up. And I'm getting down cause I roll my sleeves up. And I'm getting right cause I get.
What up, everybody in YouTube land? How we doing? We got a special guest tonight for the Friday stream. Sipping and chilling with my good friend, John Hammersmith, a.k.a. Lugs and Board, if you've gotten destroyed by him on Sleeper. John, how we doing, my man?
Doing good, Kendall. It is middle of the season. Lineups are trashed, and we are making amends. That's what we're doing.
You're decimated by the bye week, the bye-pocalypse this week too, huh?
Yeah, baby.
You must be having a decent season then. I know I got a lot of Detroit Lions, so you got to be sitting at a positive record. Hey, for those that don't know, Mr. John Hammersmith over here, man, I knew you from a league. He was actually in a Dynasty league, and then came on at the Scott Fishbowl Live Chicago. What a time! Super good time, and then. It goes from, hey, you got to watch out for the quiet guys in your league because he ends up being like a true crusher, drafted a mammoth. We'll have to see how that's doing for you. I don't actually remember your team too much. Remember, I liked it a lot. And now you've been doing a lot of writing for Dynasty Nerds for a while. How's that been going, man? That sounds fun.
It's going really well. You know, I do a monthly like kind of Dynasty theory newsletter that I write for the nerds, and then also I'm doing their weekly in-season rankings. So right now, you know, it's as much as we love Dynasty, this is what it's about. You know, if you ain't playing for the regular season, then it's just, well, what's it for?
Dude, I am with you. I've actually read quite a few of those. I was going for you for second opinions on your rate the trade stuff. I was like, man, I need to check what I'm putting out on this too. But dude, glad to have you on the show tonight. Appreciate it. Classic has to be up at 3 a.m. his time, I believe. So when we're about to be done, he's about to hit the alarm clock. He has a long drive tomorrow. So wish him safe travels. Give him some love in the Discord, and I think he's doing all the driving, but he'll still probably be on his phone. So hit him up in the Discord. Let's get into some Q&A. Before we do, let's roll down a couple of the injuries. Wicked, I know I see you in there. How you doing, buddy? It's been a minute. Good to have you. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Guys, get the questions in. We're going to get to them in just a second. I'm going to let a couple start racking up a little bit. Let's talk about the crazy injury situation that's happening. What do you think? How you feeling about injuries this year? Same as every year? You feeling it harder at one position than another? How you feeling in redraft?
I think when you're in the middle of it, each week is different. Let's be honest. A couple of weeks ago, we had all those wide receivers go down. You know, that really hurts. You know, we've had a bunch of the quarterbacks. It was a week 2 when everyone looked like we got out unscathed. And then like shortly afterwards, it was just like quarterback after quarterback after quarterback started getting listed out. So, Lamar may be coming back. That's going to lift up some lineups, but Evans lost for the season, so it's always an ebb and flow. You know, that's part of the game that we play.
Indeed. Kind of felt like we had a lot of defensive injuries to start the year. We didn't have the star ACL tear, right? I mean, we had Burrow, right? But I think outside of that, we were pretty unscathed. But this week, all right, injuries were tracking. So, by the way, on bye, Rams, Seahawks, Cardinals, Lions, Raiders, and run out of fingers, but Jaguars. 6 teams on bye-pocalypse, along with a pretty hefty injury list. It's going to be awesome. Yeah. I'm looking forward to whatever they put on TV this weekend. It's going to be great. Jaden Daniels out. We got Mariota in. Lamar Jackson limited, basically half practice all week, still saying questionable. I don't think anybody knows all that good. Vegas is indicating a lot of the lines think he's playing based on looking at Vegas odds. I couldn't tell you.
They're playing the Bears, so we see what that line's at.
I would love a 5-2 start to the season. So if we can get some Snoop Huntley in there, that would be fantastic. So the entirety of Chicago can just get way too excited. And we'll see. I don't know, man. I haven't believed it yet, but we are so close to feeling it. By the time I get done with this drink, I'm going to be picturing an undefeated season by the end of it. Penix, he's going to play. He's a little banged up in a cake matchup. Purdy out. Bryce Young somehow doubtful. He's going to be out. We're going to go ahead and news desk and call this one. That's not happening. So
I think that they actually said, Kendall, that regardless, Andy Dalton starting. And even if he can play.
Perfect.
I think I saw that news.
Wow, that's going to be spicy. We're going to have to be talking about that on game day. That's going to be talked about for sure. A little situation there. Yeah, we might have to get in some rest of season questions there on that one. I mean, Tet's value in Dynasty is really interesting to the future quarterback situation and what that looks like. And there are some decent backups, in my opinion, that are out there. Trey Lance sitting on the bench. I got a lot of them going on there. So that's watch. We'll see. My Hendon Hooker shares that I've been sitting on for a minute, that didn't pan out, but I still got a couple sitting over there. Well,
I was a believer.
Yeah, I held on to Flacco everywhere. That's just good every year, man. Who knows who it's going to be next year, but it's going to be somebody. Tyrod Taylor. I mean, who cares? At this point, I'm flexing wide receivers and running backs over anybody that's playing quarterback for that team. I'm not kidding. I might play Josh Downs over a quarterback. I think they're going to be single-digit points, whoever plays that game. I guess it's Tyrod right now. We're watching that like NASCAR. We're watching for the crashes.
Yeah.
That is going to be watch the highlights and see how sad it is. Running backs, Bucky Irving, out. Josh Jacobs, limited. Good to go, but keep an eye. He's probably a long-term, let's see if he's limping. How many touches does the backup get with or without the injury? Swift, limited, but good. I know we're all on the Common Agonai train. Breece Hall, banged up knee. Scares the crap out of me. He's going to be good to go. Maybe he can be the only spot of bright. I wish he could just sit the game personally, but maybe he'll catch 10 passes.
Some Isaiah Davis.
Yeah, I love me some Isaiah Davis, man. That'll be interesting. I just happen to own all the Jets. Yeah, it's a tough day. I was such a Breece truther, and I'm the biggest Garrett Wilson truther out there. We'll see. They get a quarterback. My dynasty team's gonna be a problem. Until then, Breece Hall. Look forward to some start-sit questions that feel interesting on that one.
Yeah.
Kareem Hunt, banged up, did not practice Thursday, limited Friday, probably gonna play, but I don't like the snap count. Probably get into that later on. Algier banged up, probably will play. Kamara, he's going to be good to go.
Yeah.
Nico, wide receiver, Nico out. Yes. AJ Brown out. Terry McLaurin and Debo, both full participants, trending towards playing. Debo probably definitely playing. Terry, let's keep watching the news. Igbuka, good to go. Garrett Wilson out. Olave. Keep track of. He popped up late on the injury report. It was a during practice thing. That sucks. We hate it. Olave is outside. Remember when we were worrying about the concussion thing, and all of a sudden he's like the most consistent PPR machine, and crazy. We're like, he might never play again. Yeah, that was interesting, but keep an eye on that because he could re-aggravate that to some extent. But I think he's going to play. But that's one to watch. Jalen Waddle, same thing he does every week. His entire body's injured, but he's going to play through it. Who knows if that'll be worth it? But that's a thing. Stephon Diggs, good. Josh Downs, good. He will play. DJ Moore, good to go. Ricky Pearsall, not happening. Jerry Jeudy did not practice, but he should be. He did not practice Wednesday. We're not starting Jerry Jeudy anyways at this point, I don't think, but he should be out there to some extent. It's ugly. Ridley,
Gabriel throws the ball 50 times. He's not giving you a whole lot.
Yeah. Having to say Jerry Jeudy followed by Ridley just feels like just the end of a segment. Like we should just be done there. All right, let's get through this quickly because no one cares about this too much. But Christian Kirk notably out as well. So Nico and Christian out. So Houston Texans is going to be a more interesting matchup. Just that whole game in general has some interestingness to it. Lots of out on both sides. Could be an interesting defensive matchup.
Those Iowa State rookies now finally get their chance. Noel and Higgins.
Yeah, both of them. That should be pretty interesting. A lot of people keeping an eye on Woody Marks and his involvement out of the backfield. This could be a 5+ catch game for him. I certainly hope so. We'll see how that goes. Mooney, Tammy's still bothering him, but he's going to play. Did fine last week. Looked pretty good doing it last week, too. So it feels like he'll just be eternally questionable, kind of managing it like a pro. But he looks good to go. Godwin, out. Slayton, expected to play. Keep an eye. Obviously, he's a desperation flex at best, but keep an eye. Christian Watson, he really wants to play. If I were him, I would too. It's his last shot. If he doesn't play, no, this is it. So he really needs to play. I think the team probably wants to get him involved, but we'll see what
they signed him to the 1-year extension. Remember that before the season? So he is signed through next year. They didn't. But to your point, you want to see what you got. You want to see what you got with that guy.
No, it's a medical thing. I think the team's like, man, if this were the 80s, he would be playing and perfectly healthy. But there's like rules and stuff now. So it doctors against team. If it's up to the team, he's going to be out there, see what they can do. Doctors will get in the way. Matthew Golden terrifies me. He's got a smaller build. He's not quite Xavier worthy, but he was added to the injury report Friday with the hip. Hip's not a shoulder. He should still be good, but monitor. I don't really know what a hip injury is, to be honest with you. I just couldn't even tell you what that means. But that's a thing. Tight ends, which we don't care about normally, but when the list gets thin, it gets even more interesting. Sure. Waller to IR. Schultz is banged up in a game where they kind of need him. So that's interesting. He becomes do we like him because the matchup, or is he too banged up? Interesting. Kincaid with the oblique. Limited all week, on track to play, but we'll have to see. That could be an interesting one. Mason Taylor added to the injury report, and a Thursday did not practice. I think Mason Taylor is trending towards playing. All the reports are saying this is more management. He's going to be good to go. Mm-hmm. I'm sure we're going to see him pop up on some start sits. It's a dream matchup. It is literally the best tight end matchup in existence, and they have nobody. I don't know. We'll get to that. It could be a trap. We'll see. Njoku, questionable, expected to play. We'll have to see. Juwan Johnson, limited the whole time with a neck. Necks are a little bit scary, but he's probably good to go. I would assume he's been limited. He hasn't been out any of the weeks, so Juwan Johnson probably good to go. Okay, that's injuries. There we go. There we're at. That's it. I think that's. I mean, we probably missed a couple for sure. We don't update the report too far into Friday night, but. Check Saturday. Mike's probably not going to be. He'll be updating that as he can, but we'll figure it out as we go. That being said, guys, let's get to some questions. If you guys have follow-up questions on your questions, just start spamming chat. Let us know. Do something. Super chats are on, so if you can only pop in for like 5 minutes and you want to get your question answered, and you want a good 5 minute, give me all the stuff in the world. Just throw us a couple bucks. We're cheap over here, man. Even $1 will buy a diaper at some point. So throw them out. I'm normally a redraft show, but we got 2 Dynasty nuts here. So throw some Dynasty questions if you want to, man. Let's get spicy with it. And without further ado, man, let's talk some football. Question number 1 coming in, Mr. Bryce Dewart. I'm going to butcher some names, but they're going to get spicier as I drink the whiskey. So just be prepared if you got a late question. I don't know what's going to happen. We're starting Rashad White or Derrick Henry. Quick one. I'm going to throw this one over to you, John, but just to everybody, try to let us know a little bit of the setup. PPR, half PPR standard. If you don't say, we're going to assume PPR, and try to let us know just if it matters, let us know if it's 2 wide receiver, 3, single flex or double flex. Are you massively were you playing against Gadsden and Vidal, or you got a blank? Were you playing against Hawkinson, right? Where are you at based on the Thursday game? Are we in catch-up mode? Are we feeling great? That can alter some takes a little bit. Just give us what you can. Otherwise, we're going to assume PPR, probably 2 wide, 2 flex. So yeah, here we go. What are we thinking here? Rashad White or Derrick Henry off the bye?
I think, listen, Derrick Henry's king. We love this guy. We know what he can do, but Rashad White right now is getting all the work on a team that desperately needs him. Baker sees him. He gets all the goal line work. He gets all the PPR work. Sean Tucker gets mixed in maybe for about a handful of carries a game. but this is Rachaad White's backfield, and we know what you're going to get out of him. That's going to offense. It's going to move it up and down. We don't know right now. I mean, if we got to make this decision today, and we know Lamar's iffy. Even if Derrick Henry gets 20 plus carries a game, you can't guarantee that he's going to outscore Rachaad White if he only gets 12 and a handful of catches, because they're both going to get the red zone work. And that way I would leave Rachaad White. And it's crazy when you get in these sort of situations, you start saying those things to yourself. But I'm going to go with that PPR upside and the guy who I know gets those really valuable touches all around, all over the field.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I'm definitely going with Rachaad White. I love the matchup. I also think Rachaad White is still pretty talented, right? When folks like Kamani Vidal do what they're doing, and Kamani, I'm not saying Kamani looked bad. Kamani actually looked very good. We can come to that another time. But Rachaad White's good in the touches that he's done. He's been good. He's picked up some, if you watch the games, he's picked up some valuable first downs. Like, he's been good when called upon. Hasn't fumbled, hasn't made a major, Kenneth Walker gets pulled from the goal line because he tries to do a little too much, pisses the coaching staff off. Rachaad White just does what's necessary. And we know the team's talented. I'm really into Tez Johnson and what he's able to do. Cade Otton's always been historically just capable when called upon. So I think the offense should still be able to move the ball. And without Mike Evans in the red zone, that is a huge sway towards the expected fantasy points to the running back compared to wide receivers in terms of touchdowns. I'm not looking at a screen there. That's just analytics there. If you take Baker's favorite play is a back shoulder fade to Mike Evans of some ilk. And in this case, I think it's going to be more, let's just give it to Rachaad White and hope it's 6, not 3. So yeah, I'm in Rachaad White. Actually, it's not particularly close. I have Rachaad White several spots higher than Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I do too. I'm getting my rankings up here really quick that I just set out today. But I'm just, like I said, it's all around. I know what you're getting, and that staff trusts him. Him and Baker have been together a few years now, and he's been an RB1 just 2 years ago. So before Bucky came, he was an RB1.
Yeah. Got to imagine he's going to really try to milk it too if he can. If the team ever wants to get some juice out of him, maybe trade him for something, it's a good time to show him off a little bit. If he can have a Rico Dowdle-esque performance, the team would love that. He would love it. We've seen it before. So, yeah. And we know Derrick Henry and losing game scripts, and I do think they're projected to lose this game according to Vegas and everybody else, even if Lamar's healthy at this point. The team's just bad. So,
just double checking. I have Rachaad White as my 13th ranked running back. So,
yeah, he's neck and neck with Saquon for me, right at 10, 11. So he's up there. Yeah, good question. Moving on. What up, Thomas Dodson? 2644 needs some help here. We can provide that. PPR Flex 2. We got old Bill Krosky Merritt, Woody Marks, Monogany, Marvin Mims, Kayshawn Butte, Jalen Noel, and what are we thinking here? What do we got? We got lots of options. Looks like you got waiver wire crazy last couple of weeks. I've been there myself. Pick 2. So pick 2 in the flex, full PPR.
Well, initially, I got to rule out Monogany. I like him, but right now, I don't think I'm ready to put him above any of these guys. This is tough because you got a lot of guys right in that same area for me. I think one guy that's standing out to me is going to be Woody Marks.
So he's your shoe-in. Woody's your shoe-in. You got first out, first in.
Yep. Once again, we talk about touches. He's going to get all those valuable touches. And if this is any sort of a negative game script, that's where he really comes alive. Which is very possible against San Francisco. You want to say Bill. But has he done it the last couple of weeks when given the shot? And now you don't have you got your two star wide receivers coming back. Likely McLaurin and Debo should be playing. It just doesn't seem like he's a guy who I'm willing to put above. So because when I look at the back end here now, we're looking at Mims, Booty, and Noel. We're just talking about Noel and how he's going to get a shot. He's looked good in that role, in that kind of.
Concerned about same team narrative at all?
So that's where you got to start diversifying, right? And when you're looking at these guys, so that's where I would maybe go to a Mims, because they're going to be playing against Dallas, and it's likely going to be a shootout. I mean, I know Denver's got a great defense, but Dallas has the number one offense. They are going to move that ball up and down. I don't care how good your defense is. That team's going to score some points. So you're going to need to be keeping pace. Last week, it all came in the third quarter. I don't think it's going to be like that. I think it's going to be more consistent. This is going to be more of that type of game where it's just, it's 50 plus points scored by these teams. So I'm talking myself into Mims here, because Mims is falling into that number 2. Plus, he's got a really nice high ceiling. He's a guy they'll manufacture some touches with, and he's got the ability to break it. He's a kick returner by nature. So give him some balls in the open field, and he can take it. So it's tough, but I'm going to go Marks and Mims.
Going with the Mims and the high scoring matchup, maybe slapping the over as well. You can do a little win-win there. Yeah. It's close. That's what it came down from me. It's Woody's in for sure, and I'm between Mims because I like the high scoring. Noel's interesting, but not if Marks is in there. Butte, I think, is just way too hit or miss. The floor isn't there. Yep. I want to see some floor. It's easy to go Bill over Butte, just because the floor the ceiling is somewhat similar. The floor is not the same. So I take Bill over him. So it comes down to a Bill versus Mims situation. What do you have a tolerance for? I'm going to try to look at this as taking the average, forget the matchup, and just say, what do I think Bill scores over the course of 3 games, so I can remove a little bit of variance. And if I do the same thing for Mims is going to have 1 good game over the next 3. It should be this game, though. It should be this one, right? Bill, maybe it shouldn't be this one. Maybe not. I do like that they have some other offensive weapons, so maybe the box isn't quite as loaded. Mariota is a big problem for me with that offense. That being said, I think I'm still going Bill, just because if he falls, I think he falls in the end zone more than Mims, and Mims needs a touchdown, a deep one, to, I think, get over Bill most of the time. So close. I'm going to go Bill and Woody. Woody for sure. Flip a coin if you need to on the next 2. Bill gets better if everyone is really healthy game day too.
Great call. No, I agree.
And it's like, I think, Bryce, we already got your question in there. Derrick Henry versus Rachaad White. Feeling good there. Perk, how we doing? Coach Kendall's feeling fantastic. We're feeling very good this Friday night. I've got a decent amount of random Dynasty Gadsden, so feeling pretty okay. We're riding high right now. It's very good stuff. And I've got some one of my Dynasty teams is in an absolute tire fire situation where I've got BTJ, I've got Kenneth Walker. I honestly didn't perform well. It was an auction startup, and it was not a good one for me. I was very distracted. I tried to hang out with the family and do it, and that was not a great call. So it's a little messy, but we've got Vidal and Gadsden just running the ship over there. So I'm feeling good. So Perk, I'm doing fantastic, man. I know I'll always checking your squad out in the Perk. What absolutely destroyed our draft tournament. I don't know if you caught any of that, if you watched any of the videos, but it was hard to if you had to give him 1 through 10. His average team was a 9-2. It was nice. It was just absolutely stupid. It almost got annoying to grade the teams because it was just it's lopsided, man. He's killing it. Long question ensuing. Okay, so redraft 12-team full PPR, pretty hefty tight end premium bonus. We're 5-2. We got a 2-3. 1 tight end, so it's super flex, double flex. Yep. Okay, with a good tight end premium 3/4. Flexing 1 of Hollywood. Wait, XL. Am I behind in the time?
Xavier Legette, I'm thinking.
Okay, are we calling him XL now? Is that a thing?
Hey, he had his breakout. He gets a nickname.
Is he cool? Is he cool enough though? I think Andy Dalton really set him up there. I need 2 games before I give him. I refuse to give. Here's the thing. He wasn't even good in college. Okay, he was good his senior year. He needs to provide a better script before I can just XL him.
Yeah,
and he's not even.
He is a first rounder, though.
That being said, if you're gonna send a long question, an abbreviation is very much appreciated. So you know what? I'm gonna tip the cat, Perk. Characters matter. Hollywood, Leggett, Chig. Oh my goodness, this is going deep. I love it. Chig, Brashard Smith, or Monangai. Interesting. Wow. Okay. Is there more to this question? There might be. Nope. I think he's got the rest of his lineup in here if you want to see. But just off the cuff, off of the players themselves, we got a flex one. In case you want to know the rest of his team, we're sitting with Mahomes, Rashad White, Kamara. We got CeeDee Lamb, Rome, Flowers, like that. Right now, at tight end, we got Ingram, and so we've got Lamar in the super flex. So we'll see how that goes.
Gotcha.
And Downs as well.
Okay.
So we need one more.
One flex, one of these guys. All right, right off the bat, I can't do Hollywood right now. I feel with Rice back, with the way this team is looking to run their offense, he's dropping down. I mean, he's a touchdown dependent wide receiver now, which is.
I'd rather take a shot on Brashard Smith as the chief in that game. I know the Mahomes stack makes it interesting, but actually I think it's probably going to be, if the game's one-sided, I almost think Brashard Smith is going to stand to benefit more than Hollywood.
I would agree, and if you've seen, they're using him more and more. They use him on those the long handoffs where they're screening him, they're setting him up, and the guy was a receiver. I've been trying to buy a lot of Brashard Smith just because I truly like it's that Jared McKinnon factor where a few years ago he won me a couple championships just by slipping him in my RB2 position. Brashard Smith has that same skill set, and any game in a PPR, he's going to give you a 10 points and with a touchdown upside. What I'm looking at, though, and I'm thinking about, this sounds, but Chig Okonkwo, man. I mean, when you got a nice 0.75 tight end premium there, and you're going against, you're losing Ridley, and you're pretty much down to him and Okonkwo and Ayomanor. It makes me think he's an upside option to you, especially with this beefy premium like you're talking about. So I like that floor. He gets 6-7 targets, 5 catches. You're already sitting with 7 points there without the yards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Four catches is 3 points, right? Or no, that's
right.
6. Yeah, that's 4 catches is 6 points there. That's or no, I'm sorry. It was 3 points.
Yeah, 1 point.
It's still
4 catches is 7 points.
Yeah, it's a decent amount. I considered going Chig there just off of that. If they all go 5 for 50, I want Chig a lot there. I think massive upside. It's like Brashard Smith I think he's got the biggest ceiling if he has an entire fourth quarter to himself, and he might. I almost projected at this point.
Yeah.
But kind of like you said, Chig could easily have like a 5 for 50 typical tight end day. He's necessary, and if that happens, he's got easily the safest floor.
Yep.
At 5-2, with I think you're not affected as much by the bye. When I saw those wide receivers, I think you probably have an edge knowing the opponent. I know you've got the Lamar situation, so hopefully you have a third quarterback. I hope. If not, we'll figure something out. But I'm going to go Chig. I'm actually going Chig as the ceiling floor combo. Even 3 for 30 is not a disaster in 0.75.
That's the thing. So that's where I'm going with. It's like the 3 for 30. You're sitting at 10 points almost. So
if Monangai gets 8 carries for 40 yards and 1 pass, the 3 for 30 beats him from Chig. Yep. So yeah, I think it's a Chig. Just lean on the TEP. I've got a half point TEP league where I'm like regularly running out Hunter Henry. I think I've been starting 3 tight ends in several weeks, and it's only 0.5. It's been Hunter Henry. It's K. Dotton right now, and then I think I've got Gadsden there too, though. So it's just like I wish I could just like Scott Fishbowl, just all tight ends. It would be awesome. But
dude, I'm crushing a league where I got Warren, Ferguson. I'm trying, but it's like I just got all these top tight ends, and it's like I can't put anybody else in my flex. I'm running out 2 running backs, three wide receivers, and 4 tight ends every week.
Yeah, my weird thing is I'm like, I like the tight ends on the waiver wire this year, like better than more of the wide receivers. So my bench is like, I have just enough wide receivers to start. I've got all the handcuff running backs and tight ends you could ever need, but I have to sprint to the waiver wire for I actually can't field a wide. I have so many leagues where I took out Garrett Wilson and there isn't a legal roster. Yeah. So in Dynasty, I was trading for Tez Johnson and Alec Pierce and all that stuff. It was
Hey, you want a deep pickup? Greg Dulcich. He just got brought up from the practice squad over in Miami with Waller.
Take over for Waller.
So let's not forget that a couple years ago, that guy was looking better than Trey McBride. The rookie years, people were picking Dulcich over McBride. Obviously, that hasn't panned out well, but the cat can run, and he's been injured. So some time off, another team, an opportunity. Suddenly, these guys come back to life.
Yeah, that's a spicy one. He's been dropped in a lot of Dynasty formats too, so he can be a cheap pickup in Dynasty that you might not see unless you're looking. So that's kind of a free one there. Like that. That's a 16-team spicy pickup too. That's nice. I like that a lot.
Just tuck him in. Forget about him. Maybe they turn to something.
Dude, I actually like that take a lot. Tua likes having a tight end. Just the mismatch where he can kind of hit him in the seam kind of quick. They did that so much with Jonnu. I think
he doesn't want to hold that ball long.
I mean, he really shouldn't. We'll see what happens in that game. I'm curious myself, man. It could be interesting. Mm-hmm. Thomas Dodson, PPR flex one. Pickens, Barkley, or Dowdle? Are we crazy to consider Dowdle over Barkley? Also, shutdown corner on Pickens.
Yeah.
What do we think?
Well, I got Barkley as one of my plays of the week this week. And one of the reasons why is if you go back to look 2 weeks ago when Philly lost, he only got 14 touches. Philly will not make that mistake this week. Now A.J. Brown is out, and it's an easy pick for me. That's going to be Barkley. Can't go with Dowdle. I just don't trust that coaching staff. He's only going to get 50% of the carries. Doesn't matter if he runs twice as well as Hubbard. They're a loyal staff. They're going to keep both those running backs fresh. Dowdle just doesn't have that ceiling for me, getting that 50-50 with that offense. Pickens, man, was he killing it for us. CeeDee Lamb came back, so he's taking that ceiling off for you. Unfortunately, that's just the fact. Now, Surtain, it's going to matter. We've already said here earlier, this is going to be a high-scoring game. I'm not worried about that, but I want Barkley. I think Barkley's coming back. He's going back against the Giants. You know this man, he's a prideful guy. He's not happy they lost that game, and now they're going to need him. So they will feed him. Expect 20-plus carries, as well as him getting back into that receiving game.
Yep, I'm going to be hitting some receiving props on him. I think I see, if I can spice it up and go for a bigger payoff, I see a 7-target game, 5 catch, and he probably breaks a catch off. I see a big one for Saquon because there's so many ways for him to get there, and I'm gonna chalk it up. Like, he should have broken a big one off by now, but we play. Any poker players in chat know, like, sometimes you have that session where you do all the decisions right and the 60-40s never go in your favor. I feel like that's where Saquon's been at this year. You cannot tell me he's any different and the team's really any different. Sometimes if you look at a chart of player performance in the long run, it's a lot of variance. It's a lot of on, off. I think this one's an on. I'm super with you. I'm firing up Barkley. There's not enough to explain the not good stuff, and there's so much reason. Like you just mentioned, everything you just said says he should be good. If we're wrong, I still think it's the right play. I'm going to throw that out there. I'm not going to be results oriented, even if we're wrong.
Nope. It's a good process. I agree.
Yeah. Before I did, like, the crazy to consider if we're getting into heuristics and thought process, I really like what you said though. The coaching staff. You immediately mentioned the team and what the team wants to do, not what player is going to have a better PFF grade and possibly production, right? Yeah. I do think there's some politics over there that they've got to play and figure out. And towards the end of the season, we might see a bit of a shift, but I don't think we're going to see it right now. And that team doesn't have enough punch to have a Detroit Lions like start both backs. So I'm afraid going to do it.
And they won. They got the W. So it's like they're not incentivized to roll Rico for 20-plus.
Yeah, I'm with you. So hopefully that helps, Thomas. Appreciate you. Good question. Wicked Pompano, good friend. How we doing? Full PPR. Again, interesting. I'm seeing a lot of these tight end premium redraft leagues. That is interesting. I feel like I don't have quite as many, but I do like it. The way I play means this would be very, very good.
It's levels the field. It really, truly makes some of these other tight ends feel more like you're not just throwing away a roster spot. You know, it's like you have the top 3 tight ends or you have a nobody. By adding that TEP, now it makes it feel like a little more like you're evened out.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Like, I don't want fantasy to mirror the NFL. I want it to just be the best game theory optimal for the sport we like to watch on TV. You know, I think I've gotten to a point where I think it's just optimal. Like across all leagues, I would at least do a 0.25. Even if you were against some sort of tight end premium, I would say 0.25 at a minimum to change the position to at least something. I think at half point, with a double flex, it leads to just much more nuance, and it makes tight ends tradable. Just we can go into a long segment about that, but if tight ends don't have tight end premium, they're not tradable. They're just dust, and they're not interesting. And being able to pick up the right tight end in order to sell it as a flex option to a busted team, I think that's just more fun. I like that it creates activity. And seeing the waiver wire with actually tight ends every week is also kind of fun. You didn't used to see that, and it was just full punt position. So interesting. Yeah, I'm with you. Let's keep it moving here. So wait, we didn't answer the question. We got too much into what we're doing. We're picking 2 for the flex: Dobbins, Shaheed, Mooney, Kendrick Bourne, Butte, Ingram. Half TEP, full PPR. Any initial thoughts? We're picking 2, so we can do a first in, first out.
Yeah. So
I think I can go first in. I'm going Dobbins for sure. That matchup is too chalk. Like, it's an auto play because of the matchup. I'm not saying I like Dobbins right now. I think RJ could actually have a game here potentially, but I think Dobbins is I won't hate myself for starting him. He's my first in.
That's exactly where I'm at. Dobbins was where my eyes went to first, and it's where they are still, because to your point, Dallas defense, we know they're going to run the ball. I think this is going to be a team that's going to need to score some points. I thought we'd see more of a split backfield by now between Dobbins and Harvey. It's just not happening. In fact, it once it got to that 50-50, it went right back the other way. And I think it was like 3-1 in favor of Dobbins over the last few weeks. So Dobbins getting all those valuable touches up by the goal line. He'll get a touchdown, and they toss him the ball. So that's an easy one. The number 2.
I was gonna say I keep thinking about number 2. My head keeps flashing over to Ingram with a nice matchup, and he's been getting 7 targets a game, and I'm counterbalancing that up against the Bourne Mooney. I think Mooney's a better player. Bourne's been spicy, and like everyone's out again. I still think with half TEP, I'm gonna go Ingram over the wide receivers in the matchup. I think I'm going Ingram here, unless there's like long touchdown bonus. I think I'm going Ingram here.
No. And I know we're picking Broncos here, right? But we're talking about how many points they're going to need to score. The reason why I think Ingram right now hasn't had the greatest year, right? He hasn't really been involved early on. He had some injuries, but if you look at last couple of weeks, he's getting more and more in the snap accounts. He's being utilized more, and I think that you're talking about, once again, 7 targets. And if we're talking this TEP again, he catches 5 of them. You're up at 7.5 points before you've even added anything else, any yards or anything. So if you want the floor, I'm going with Ingram. If you want to go for the gusto, once again, we got a Mac Jones and Kendrick Bourne situation. That's always got a nice high ceiling potential. No matter what, but Kittle's back, and that we haven't seen now that really in full effect. Kittle was more blocking all last week. If you watch that game, I mean, the man was just pancaking and opening up lanes for Christian McCaffrey. The whole run game was changed with George Kittle. I think they try and get him more involved in the passing game this week, so that's why I'm kind of backing off on the Bourne. Mooney, Shaheed, I don't know why, man. Every time I look at them, I have a tough time feeling comfortable about them. And I think it's the quarterback situations and plus where they're falling. Mooney's got, Pitts is clearly the number 2 over there right now. He's on pace for over 100 targets since the first time since his rookie year. Drake London is the alpha. So, and then you add in Bijan. He's I think the number 2 receiver on the team right now. So, yeah, I have a tough time going Mooney. I think there's just too low of a floor. Same thing with Shaheed. So just go back as I walk myself through all these again. I think Ingram's your safest play. If you really want to go shoot for the moon, grab yourself a Born and Booty.
I like that. Born and Booty. Sure, we got shirts coming. Man, I hope I can do this for a living one day, because I will absolutely make someone make a T-shirt for sure. It would be available for sale in 1 hour from now.
Born to Booty.
Yes. My good. Pre-order now. Just hop in the Discord. I will find a way to use that as some social proof. We should get some more merch going. That Born and Booty, baby. That needs to be a shirt. It needs to. I may make one anyway. Yeah. We'll door to door this. Man, 50-50 owners on Born and Booty.
Hey,
that's
we got
good, baby. Jonathan Santiago. Okay, 5RT. Pacheco or Bill? PPR, pick one.
It's Bill for me. I'm not even really hesitating on this. I just feel it's mucky muck between Pacheco. Hunt isn't ruled out. I know he got a little banged up last week, but the leading rusher of this team is still Patrick Mahomes.
Crazy.
So,
Crazy.
Right, I know. We're how many weeks into the season? So, I think there's just Pacheco just has not done for me. He's once again he's a touchdown dependent guy, and even if he gets into that position, it's been going to Hunt, not him. He's been in between the 20s more. And then we just talked about Brashard Smith and his upcoming role, so he's stealing more of that backfield touches.
Is this a situation where like the matchup is making people feel like, hey, the running back should be pretty good, right? And so Pacheco could be good. But is this a situation where, yeah, the running back room will get more touches, but Pacheco is still capped. If there's more touches to be had, they're going to get other guys involved. They're going to give him the other guy. Pacheco's, no matter what the game script is, I don't think he's getting the rock anymore. I don't think they see him as a long-term solution. Realistically,
a couple years ago, he was really the centerpiece of the offense.
He had a good run too. I just think maybe the Chiefs are just really smart and they start phasing running backs out just before they need to. Maybe Andy Reid's just that good.
Dude, look at how Patrick's slicking that ball right now, dude. You're putting it through him.
Yeah, not even top 5 anymore. He's just the QB1 again, which is just super fun. I love it, and I sold him in Dynasty.
And he's running all over the field and just fake.
Dude, he looks like he's having a blast out there, and I'm happy for him. Jonathan, this is a pretty easy Bill. I know it's a little bit of a tough matchup, but we know there's better days ahead. Like Pacheco's arrow is sliding down even in a good matchup. Bill's going to have an unexpectedly good game at some point. His previous like high efficient games were kind of like surprises, right? So we're going to be pleasantly surprised soon.
He's a great runner. He's a great runner. I mean, you watch him with the ball. He can run, but he's fumbling, and that's where your concern is. But if we're looking at these two guys, it's pretty clear to me.
Man, it's there. Well, I don't even know if you can answer this question here. Are you in any leagues with my buddy Graham? Dude Man Bronson. He's got to be in our Galactic Dynasty League, I think. Dude Man Bronson, if you're still or Broson, if you're still around, man, which Dynasty League with me and Graham are you in? I've got Graham in a couple, and great league runner, by the way. If you guys are ever looking to hop into a league, not a sponsor or anything, but he's just a great league runner. Hit him up on Sleeper. I think that's probably his name. You'll find him. You'll figure it out. Great league runner, but I do have him this year. All right. He won the title last year. He just traded for Saquon, but my team is a legitimate problem. I will put it on screen at some point. I worked hard for this one. I'm hurting some people. Absolutely hurting some people. It was like a year 0 rebuild followed by another rebuild because we weren't there. And it is hitting it. Those are the fun ones. I went through an entire year of this league forgetting it was half PPR though. It's a dynasty half PPR. It's running back favored. So it's 2 RB, 2 wide receiver, 3 flex. Gotcha. And it's a 1 quarterback. So running backs are just way more valuable than you think with the half PPR. Yeah. And I think I sold Brees and Gibbs at some point or something like that. And then I woke up and was like, this is half PPR. I have like 7 amazing wide receivers. 2 of them I can't start every week, and I have been starting RJ Harvey sometimes. I forget who he is. It's unreal. But I've had to bench either Olave or Pickens pretty much every week.
Oh my goodness! Oh, those are the decisions.
I got you this year, Graham. It's happening. Now that I said that, for sure, it's not going to happen. I'm getting knocked out first round. Super fun. I love that league. Good peoples. Diggs or Dobbs? PPR. What do we think?
That's a good one.
This one is actually a pretty good line. I think I have an answer here, though. I actually do have an answer. I'm going Diggs.
Yeah.
Only because I still feel like the Packers offense is incredibly efficient and there's just no ceiling for Dobbs, but there's a pretty elite floor. Drake May, I think, is one of the best quarterbacks in football right now. He is phenomenal, and I think Diggs in a decent game, he's going to be good. I know the matchup is awful. I mean, it's really, really not a good matchup. I still think Diggs is going to get 7-8 targets minimum, and he'll figure it out. Drake May's too good, and I think he's going to figure it out. Dobbs, I think you're happy when he scores 10 points. I see Golden getting more involved. I could see that game being like 7-3. I could really see the Packers game just being a field goal fest. And Drake May is going to put the ball in the end zone in some fashion. I'm going Diggs there. It's close, though.
I'm with you. Dobbs is good for what he is. He's a good, solid flex play. But the upside, you're not going to get those 3 touchdown games. I mean, he's got that. He had that one. That's it. Enjoy it. I hope you did. But it really, to your point, it's like right now he's your 8 to 12 point guy. So he's comfortable, but Diggs is really becoming the man for Drake. Drake is a superstar, dude. He's doing everything right. You saw it last year. They didn't have playmakers, and he was making plays. He elevates everybody. He's got booty looking from a guy who was this. Yeah, he was a 5-star recruit going into college. He had all the accolades. He wasn't drafted high, and he hasn't done anything until this year, until the end of last year with May. That's what May does. He turns guys like Demario Douglas and the stars. Diggs towards ACL last year. He's getting healthier. He's getting better, and I guarantee you, as this season goes on, Diggs is going to be one of those guys where it's just like all of a sudden you're playing him every week, and you're very happy doing it.
Yeah, I do think he's going to keep getting better as he goes, as he develops chemistry. Yeah, let me make it more difficult for you. Let's do the litmus test here. If you were to throw Kendrick Bourne into the mix, who would you take?
I still am leaning Diggs, and the reason why is because he truly has the ability to be the number one, where Bourne is now got to face Jennings and Kittle. And I'll take Booty and Hunter Henry over Jennings and Kittle with a better quarterback in Drake May.
I had to ask myself, I think I would take Bourne over Dobbs, though. I was trying to do who's the poor man's who. Yes. I actually think Dobbs is kind of a poor man's Bourne when they're given the same opportunity. I actually like Bourne a little bit better. Dobbs, yeah, he had the crazy multi-touchdown thing, but I've seen enough to know that I've better ceiling plays elsewhere, and I'm going to be wrong sometimes, but I think we're going to be right most of the time. Let's line up some Diggs and a better quarterback for sure.
Dobbs is your classic better football player than he is fantasy player. He's all right for your fantasy team, but he's a great football player. The man's out there. He's great for the offense. He's blocking. He gets open when you need him, makes good first downs. But at the end of the day, you look at stat line, that's the game that we're playing.
Yeah. Not enough pass attempts.
Yeah.
Too much Jacobs in the red zone.
Yeah.
Kraft is really good. I think Kraft is the wide receiver 1 there, in my opinion. So, yeah. Good calls there. Warrior Loft saying hello, guys. Man, I appreciate that. By the way, anyone who's like throwing out the hey guys, I know we don't throw those questions on screen because it's not a question, but just me to you, I'm hanging on Friday night talking football with my friends here. So just me to you, I still see that. And I'm like, I legitimately picture you being like, hey, what's happening? Hope you're having a good Friday night, man. Hope you're killing your leagues. If not, I hope you're shipping something tasty and delicious. what else we got going on here? I lost my place. I took the question off. Here we go. So where we left with your question: Debo versus the Chiefs, Wan'Dale versus the Eagles, or Tez Johnson versus the Saints. I am very opinionated on this one. I got to throw it to you first.
So, Jackson Dart's becoming one of my favorite guys, man. He's just got something special.
The whole team is kind of awesome. I never thought I'd own a Giants jersey.
I agree, man.
Dude, that team is fun.
He has brought some sort of energy, and Scatterbo is part of it, but he's the quarterback.
High five and refs, dude. I've never seen someone do that. I've watched a lot of highlights. I've never seen someone do that. That was authentic. I love football.
Yes.
You know, that was George Kittle energy. That was George Kittle just like cannot stop being himself. Like, I love that.
Yes. And so we're just talking about that Giants Eagles game. I think Eagles are going to come out very motivated to win it. Giants they're putting up points. They are putting up points with that team. And they're Sans neighbors. So without him, Robinson has been the guy stepping up the most. And Robinson, he's got that. He still can get manufactured touches. They throw him down the field all over. So I got to go Robinson just because I feel that the Jackson Dart vibe and what he's doing and how he's elevating everybody there. The Tez, I do like that play. And there's another guy, man. He's another like long shot. His whole career, his story is amazing, and like, how he got there and with living with the Knicks family and that whole gig. I mean, that's cool. Crazy. And they need him. They definitely need him with Evans gone for the year. You got Godwin not ready to return. And it's really the Ibuka show. And as we said before, using Aden and Rashad White. But with that being said, I think, once again, Wan'Dale Robinson has that chance to be Dart's man for the rest of the year. And that's why I've actually been being aggressive, trying to get him in Dynasty in my contender leagues and see if anybody's willing to just give him nice and cheap. I get a nice deal together. Can I slip that guy in as that like little cherry on top?
Bigger deal to hide the real prize.
Yeah. So it's like, because I do see him as a nice wide receiver 2 ceiling for the rest of this season with Dart.
And the long term that like there's like a 10% negative like Giants aren't good narrative that like holds down. It's like, but they're in a 3-year window from right now, the Giants are going to be a decent offense putting up points. And you just have like just wide receiver 2 on a top 15, top 10 offense. That's maybe like it's there. I said I was opinionated about this, by the way, because this one is actually razor close for me. It has to be Wan'Dale. It just has to. Like the pure amount of like, he's a 2nd-round NFL draft pick, by the way. He's also a really good wide receiver. Like, I don't know why everyone forgets that. Like, I feel like I'm the only person on the planet that remembers he was kind of an early day 2 pick. He got picked early, and people like him. Like, pros like him. He's good. He's going to get the volume. It's like a numbers game. You have to. I am so close to starting Tez over him. That's how in on Tez Johnson I am. It's getting kind of disgusting. It's the take that I hate saying here because I know my shot at getting him in Dynasty is now basically 0. It's over. Like I have to get all my trades in by this show or it's over. I think. I'm not saying Tez is Puka, but dude, I think he's that guy. I think Jalen McMillan's injury is really scary. I don't know when he'll be back even next year. And I like Jalen McMillan. I liked what he did quite a bit. And I think he's talented. I think long-term, I think it's going to be Ekbuka and Tez Johnson in this offense. I think it's them 2 and Bucky. And I think it's this young core. There'll be a veteran around. If Evans has to retire, do something, and Godwin sticks around for a year, it's Dynasty. They're like really old and really young. Right. There's going to be this wave and I just see Tez as the future too, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think he starts taking, I think this week he has a big game. That's why it's so close for me. Cause I think Wan'Dale just has a regular 8, 9 target, 6, 7 catch, good game. I think Tez could have a nuclear 20-point game. I just feel it in my bones. That being said, I'm a chicken and I'm going to go Wan'Dale because I have to, but I'm starting Tez over everybody else.
dude, you gotta like the guy, the character, the story, everything. And I agree with you.
Coaches like that, especially in the Bucks. Like Baker
Yeah.
will throw a ball to a guy because he's got that dog. Like he'll do that. Baker will hyper target a dog because he's a dog.
Yeah, exactly. And the dude's making plays. So it's like, he's showing that the game's not too big for him as a rookie.
Yeah, which there's a lot of rookies this game's too big for. But the entire running back class, this game is far too big for, sadly. Figuratively and literally. They're also
Caleb Johnson's got like 3 fumbles on 4 touches.
Well, Travion Henderson got out-snapped by a guy I've never heard of.
Oh,
and that never happens. That's never happened, I think, ever, where I'm like, I actually have no idea. I couldn't tell you where this guy went to school. I couldn't tell you if he's an undrafted free agent. I couldn't tell you. And I don't even remember his name. I don't even have him in a show doc right now. But
all I know is someone tried to trade him to me. So that's all. I was like, who is this?
Yep. I got that. I think it was Jason Moore of the Fantasy Footballer said like 2 or 3 days ago. I think he's getting lit up by his team for this. He's like, and if you want to throw a second out for Henderson, you should try. Everybody who owns Travion Henderson has gotten a second-round pick offered to him based on the.
I was just telling you about views. That. Oh my god.
It's so brutal. It's so
Jason
brutal.
Moore, I gotta blame.
It's Jason Moore. Go back, watch like the part 1 of their like 2-day like matchup show. He threw it out. I like watched the show back to see if somebody was like, "Are you sure about that?" Because he does the Dynasty show too, and I was like, I literally have 10 to 12 unwanted trade requests because of that guy's line. I knew it. I absolutely knew it. It's never happened before. Yeah. This running back class. I don't even know where we got on that, but I think we were trying to make fun of somebody. Anyways, let's get on to it. We're going Wandale. Tez is sneaky though. If you can, there's probably somebody in your team I would start Tez over. I almost promise you. Defense question for Warrior Loft. By the way, Warrior Loft, I don't think I've seen you, man. New friend of the show. Happy you're here, my friend, man. Our Discord's free. Welcome. You want to throw us a couple bucks at some point? We're not fully monetized. So right now you get good stuff for free. So hop on in, man. Happy to have you. I'll throw a link to the Discord later on. Patriots D, Browns, or Falcons D. These are all amazing options. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Do you have a preference on which defense is going to crush the other guy?
These both feel like top 5s to me. Like, I think these are all.
I think I have Browns just outside the top 5 for me. It might be 6, but this is crazy.
Yeah. I think I want to go Falcons simply because of is that at Atlanta?
I actually don't know, but I'm going to find out for you.
Yeah, it is at Atlanta.
Okay, that helps out a lot.
Yeah, versus the Pats are they going into Cleveland? Just wanted to double check that.
Going into the dog?
No, they're actually at home too.
No, that changes a lot for me. New England at home is absolutely terrifying. Yep. I think it's New England at home for me. I got to check what I think. Yeah.
That's where I'm going to. I think the Njoku's leaning to out. You got Fannin, Judy, and Judkins, and right now that Patriots team is really playing at another level. Love what Vrabel's bringing. He's bringing back that old Tennessee energy where that team just how can you not like Mike Vrabel? Unless you truly just hate the Pats because they are they wrecked your career, or wrecked your team throughout how many years. But I like Vrabel as a coach. I like what he's doing in New England. That whole vibe of that team led by Drake May is good, but they are a defensive team. Don't forget that, and that's what they want to be. Browns, I think Gabriel's over his skis. He's really not. He's
not. I don't think he's not an NFL quarterback, man.
Yeah,
he's like worse Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go Patriots at home.
Yep. I'm going Patriots at home as well. I do think the Browns are like sneakily not as bad as people say.
I agree.
But I do think they're too smart. They know that this is a Judkins, even while we're trying to stop you, you're probably going to be the best part of this game. But either you're going to score no points, or when you throw the ball, it's not going to be a good time. And I'm not ready to trust the Falcons yet. Like, their defense is talented, and they're going up against Miami. But we should make another shirt here. This is already in existence. Like the Falcons, man. The Falcons just do Falcon stuff all the time. Like, I know every ranking site on the planet has Atlanta as a top 3 defense this week. I can't do it. I can't do the give the Falcons credit that they'll handle a team because they're supposed to.
Yeah.
I'm a Bears fan. I'm very, very well aware of watching a team that's supposed to do something and then it doesn't happen, right? Vegas makes its money off of people thinking this is supposed to happen because it's supposed to happen.
Yes.
And then it doesn't, and they were too confident. I just think I'm not saying I have confidence in the Dolphins, but I'm saying I don't have confidence that the Falcons can stay competent for 4 quarters. They're the one team that will play down to any competitor if they want.
They will.
If they could make the Dolphins look good, I could see it happening. I could see a narrative where McDaniel saves his job and Achane does something crazy because the Falcons are the Falcons. I don't trust that team, the front office, back office, anybody. I just don't trust them yet. So,
and then just to throw in this too, pace of play. The Browns are going to be a slow pace of play. They're not looking out there to try and go run a up-tempo game.
Yeah, they want it to be a one-score game. If they can keep it so slow that it's a one-score game, that gives them a shot.
And Patriots could feed into that as well. So that could be a good under game because of that. But on the flip side, Dolphins, they very much could get nice and high tempo. They could get into a no-huddle. They can move it often because they want that ball being snapped out. In between the speed, Achane, Waddle, even Washington, that guy's got some wheels. They're gonna be moving that ball in and out. They want to get Wright more involved. He's another speedster. So Dolphins have a chance if they can pick up the pace, where Browns have a chance if they can slow it down. So Patriots.
I'm with you. That being said, man, you're gonna have a good week. It's gonna be fine either way for sure. Albert, good friend of the show. What's up, everybody? How you doing, Albert?
Hello.
Good to have you, my friend. Albert, I gotta ask you a strange question because I feel like it and I've had enough whiskey. I need favorite breakfast cereal. Get that in the chat. How you doing, my friend? I need to know. And Thomas Dodson, I does this change for me? This was just an easy no. Without even looking, I looked up real quick and saw we did a couple takes with him. It was a lot of pretty deep flexes.
Okay.
For 40+ yard plays in particular, it does make me lean wide receiver over running back if it's close, but 40-yard plays barely happen once in an NFL game.
Yeah,
it's so rare. The only way to predictably look at it is you have to have that particular guy, right? Like your Jamar Chase, that type of player. Other than that, even if you're like Shaheed's supposed to be a deep threat guy, right? How many? He's got one deep pass this year, maybe.
Yep.
It's just so hit or miss, even when you can predict it. It's not enough. It's a tiebreaker when you're neutral at positions for me. It leans the receiver. That's it, though. Do you see it a little bit different? Have some nuance there?
No, I think you nailed it. It's definitely gives a little that, just like I said, if I got a running back and a wide receiver that I like at that same tier, that same level, I'm going to go the wide receiver because you're more likely to get a 40-yard catch than you are a 40-yard run. And then if I got two guys like a Dobbs and a Shaheed or something like that, well, Shaheed, to your point, is more likely to get that extra 4 points versus a Dobbs.
Yeah, go for some ceiling. The answers we gave were already ceiling plays, though, from what I remember for the most part. So that's why it didn't change anything. I'm not going to go for a riskier play to hit almost the same ceiling. So that's also kind of the other take.
Exactly. There. Like Booty's another guy. What has he got? 2 or 3 40-yard catches already this year? So those are the guys that I'm looking at, but only if they're if they're right at the same tier or position of other people I'm looking.
Yep. I'm with you. Kevin 24 Cardwell asks, we're starting Kamara Deke over Burden and Hendo in PPR, right? Call. Well, this is interesting because I really only start DK in but I don't actually know how to say his name properly. I didn't look this up. I have him in a decent amount of spots, but I've got a bunch of leagues that have the kick return. It's splendid in there a little bit, and he's like a 10-point guarantee guy because of the kick returns. I'm guessing you would have mentioned if it were kick return stuff because you for sure would. So this is straight up just Ridley out. He had kind of a mini breakout last week.
Yes.
I'll kill Hendy right away and say I'm not starting him until I see something like for sure. He's like, again, we're Dynasty guys, so like, yeah, this is find something else to drink. DK Burden, do you have thoughts here? This is actually I actually have to think through this one. I think I have an answer, but I'm curious to hear your take. I want to see if you can sway my mysterious take.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was one of the biggest Henderson truthers out there, so I'm not feeling it right now. You haven't seen it though. So, but because of that, we have to keep him out until we know what his role is. This is a floor ceiling play for me. I mean, Burden's the guy gets you two touches, 80 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And they hand him the ball. DK's kind of getting a lot, I think, more targets. You like him with Ridley out. But Burden has been getting more involved in the offense. I think if we want to be safe here, it's DK. I think that is the call when I'm looking at this. But if you need points, if you are like, man, I need 20 points, that's Burden.
Yeah, you're thinking the same thing I am, which is like, I think they're both gonna suck. Probably, but one of them doesn't have to. Yes. And also DK could have like a 95 PFF grade and still have 2 points because it just won't be his fault. It just would not be his fault. I just don't trust.
No, and if I remember correctly on his film, he fit that like kind of mold of a better football player than necessarily a fantasy type guy. Like he's a good blocker. He's out there, like he gets it up. But Burden's your guy who can take it to the house. And we've seen him do it a couple times this year already.
I'm playing matchup here. I'm saying I'm really looking at it and saying, if it's dead neutral script, right? I'm actually going to go DK if I just need to eke out a tiny edge. Yes. That being said, if I'm hit harder by the buys than my opponent, I'm easily going Burden. In their expected PPG, I think they're within 2 probably almost any way you slice it. But one of them has just such a ceiling that's not the same. Yes. So the average range of outcomes, adjusted average, is probably so heavy in Burden's favor. It just doesn't hit enough. So that's kind of how I play that. If it's neutral, I will go DK because I think he does probably catch 4 passes.
Yeah.
We'll see if one of them is longer. Burden's probably catching 2, 3. I bet you his receiving line has to be 1.5 or 2.5 for sure. It's got to be along those lines.
Yeah.
And I'll take the under at 2.5.
Yeah. But his yards per catch could be 30 yards.
Yeah, I mean, it could be damn decent. I'd like to see one more interesting game from Burden, but we probably don't have this conversation. I'm going DK if I can. If you're up against Gadsden, it's Burden.
Yeah, yep. There you go. That's exactly it. If you're behind, Burden. If you're neutral, DK.
I'm in there. Jonathan Santiago. Santiago. Hey, appreciate you being here. Either way, my friend, would you drop Pacheco for Brashard Smith? I would. I actually just would because I'm never starting Pacheco unless I have to. So if this can't be your RB2, and if it's your RB2, the only way you win your season is if Brashard Smith has a breakout because you're not winning with Pacheco. So you cannot win your league. It's pointless to do a non-winning play. You'd rather take 99% risk. I actually would. I mean, I'll do the obligatory. I hate when every show, but I don't know. You watch all the shows too. I hate when every show is like, try to trade him whenever it's like an untradeable. No one good will ever do this to you. Don't piss your teammates off.
Yeah.
Or your league mates. Don't try to trade somebody. If you're trying to trade him, I mean, trade him for actual nothing, like basically nothing, right?
Get a 4th and be happy with it and something like that. Or if you're Dynasty, or just go for argument. But if this is redraft,
I'm just picking Brashard Smith up. Like, if I was the Brashard Smith owner, I wouldn't let you trade me Pacheco. Like,
exactly. Thank you. And that's a great way to put it. And it goes back to what I was saying before. There's a certain type of position in Kansas City that they look for, and that's at receiving back, and that can be fantasy gold. We've seen it a couple times now. Brashard Smith has that skill set, not Pacheco.
He hasn't made any rookie mistakes. All these running backs have made rookie mistakes. Brashard Smith has just stuck to the system. This is where he could McKinnon because he hasn't made any rookie mistakes. He's been good when called upon. I don't even know how good he is in practice, but God forbid he's doing things in practice we're not seeing or looking. And you don't get on Reed's field unless you show it. He'll give everybody a gadget touch. He doesn't.
Yes.
He had 5 targets.
Yes, and he's that guy. He's that guy that Andy Reid can scheme something around.
Xavier
so there's going to
Worthy
be some game
5 targets.
Yeah,
you know, like he's as involved as Xavier Worthy. That's fair to say.
Oh yeah, I agree.
No, it's crazy 100%. To say that. There's some games he's more involved than Kelsey.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm getting kind of spiced up. Smith. All right, quick Dynasty question for anyone that's listening. It's not on screen. This is me. I'm sponsoring this stream. I'm going to ask the question to my Dynasty friend over here. Okay, so which side would you take? Okay, Travis Hunter or a first. Let's just call it mid. Call it just, the most average, 107 you've ever seen, okay? Travis Hunter or mid first, Brashard Smith and Isaac Tesla.
So I am not the biggest Hunter guy. But with that being said, if I can't get, say, like a Tyson or Lemon, I'm not getting the same ceiling I can get with Hunter. I love Tesla. I love where he's going, but I still don't know how consistent that's going to be. That this is still Amon Ra till the sun comes up, till the sun goes down. I mean, it really like that's the passing game. And right now the number 2 is Laporta. It's not even Jay Will. So I like Tesla. But now you got to throw in Brashard Smith and where he's trending. So
it sounds like you're pretty on the fence, and no matter what, this is close. That feels.
This is a very good trade. This doesn't have me like being like, yeah, like I.
This is me and a buddy. This is me and a Dynasty buddy, and I thought it was razor thin too.
Yeah, no, and that's where I'm at, because when you're looking at next year's class, I'm trying to pull who the first like 6, 7, 8 people off the board for me right now. You got a handful of quarterbacks that are kind of like, I don't know. Right now they're all in a bag and they can all come out a different way. The only sure shots I know are that I've been high on Lemon for a while, and he came out this year and he's just throwing down. Like, I mean, he's looking really good. And then, like I said, I think Tyson is a legit wide receiver. And then Love is the best skill position coming out. He's going to be the most solid guy. 3 down.
I live in Notre Dame country.
Oh,
right? I 10 minutes
but yeah,
10 minutes.
Please. I would like to see him end up in Chicago somehow, some way. Throw your first move up, please.
I'm going to be uncomfortably hot and bothered. If he goes to Chicago, day 0, he's on the wall, signed jersey. I will have the video of him signing it. I mean, clip that. That will happen.
Yep. But where I'm going here is it all depends on those quarterbacks. So when I'm looking at the pick, because I like the upside of those 2 add-ins, but to me, they're still add-ins. Hunter, what he did last week, it gave me kind of like I got to go back and relook at that. Some of that came, a couple of it came in that big play at the end. I want to see more of his route running improving. It seems like they're trying to get him good at one position before he's okay at 2, which is probably the right move to do since you spent a lot of capital to move up on the young man. He's overloaded. This isn't he didn't just sit in from my understanding is he never really sat in offensive meetings in college. He primarily sat on the defensive side and learned the defensive side. So let's fast forward right now to today. He's being fully implemented into an NFL offense. It's going to take some time. He wasn't a pure route runner. He was very raw in a lot of those factors. Trevor Lawrence you just don't know who he is. He definitely wasn't what we were expecting.
Yeah. But, you can say that again.
Yeah. So right now it's the bird in the hand versus the 2 in the bush.
Give me Mac Jones.
And so I think today I keep my Hunter share with the idea that this is a long-term wide receiver 2 fantasy for me, versus rolling the dice on who's going to fall to that 6-7 mark next year. And unless I'm really confident in the quarterbacks that are coming out, then I want that pick. So I think that's kind of where I'm hedging right there. It's like, if I'm comfortable with the quarterbacks coming out, then I probably want that pick in a super flex. But if this is one quarterback, give me Travis Hunter.
It is super flex. It's a very, very traditional dynasty setup. I bought Travis Hunter.
You bought Travis Hunter.
I bought Travis Hunter.
There you go.
Here's the thing. It was to a buddy of mine. I knew I had to be aggressive and throw some that's going to hurt to lose assets. Yeah. And I put 2, it's going to hurt to lose them assets. And I thought it was going to be a later first, and now it looks like it's going to be middle of the road. And I'm like, oh shit. It's not going to be like the 103 or anything like that. But,
no.
I needed the Hunter game. The Brashard Smith up. The Brashard Smith was going up while Hunter was at this like steady decline. I wanted to absolutely fall off a bridge. And then Hunter's game happened. We might live a little while. I'm so terrified that I just sold a Brashard Smith who might be really good at some point, though. Yeah. So I love to see that. That was I haven't had a chance to ask someone about that in a minute. My team is too much of a tire fire. I am living and breathing off of Kamani Vidal and Gadsden right now. They are like my top performers. It's a problem. And I sold my first, so I can't tank.
Gadsden's waiting now the hottest name in fantasy, man. I was able to send a first, a second, and him for Roma Dunze.
I love that trade. Rome is such a good buy low right now after 2 duds. Oh my God.
Yeah. So the juice there was the Aranda Gadsden. I did that right before he had another big game last night, though. I did that yesterday morning.
Yeah.
So
that did not feel good yesterday morning. I know it felt great yesterday morning. It did not feel good yesterday night. Wow.
Yes.
So you hated watching that game so much.
But here's a team where I got a lot of tight ends that I liked, so it was like it didn't hurt me as bad. I got about one of three of my teams I have around the Gadsden, so I was like, okay, I'll actually sell one because I got all these seconds and things in my inbox that I have to keep declining. So it felt good because a Bears fan, and I get my Rome share and like a guy who I believe is a superstar in the making. But you got to give something to get something, right? That's just the name of the game. Not everything can be a complete blow up.
Dude, called shot. Neighbors off the injury next year versus Rome. I bet you Rome outscores him next year.
Yeah.
Straight up. I think
it's growing, man. He's got the whole skill set.
You get rid of DJ Moore, Rome's gonna be a problem. But let's get some more questions up here in the chat. What else have we got? We've answered quite a few of them. Here we go. Oh, actually, Santiago wanted a quick. We already did. We would drop them. Non PPR. Okay, straight standard. Swift or Chase Brown?
Oof. Swift has been the number 1 running back overall, right? The last 2 weeks.
He's been extremely good. Not a blended 2 week, but he was quite good last week.
Yeah. Chicago's had the best run game. Has had the best run game the last 2 weeks.
That is true. In yardage, we've absolutely crushed.
Yep.
And 140 himself, I think, or 120 or something.
Swift is running so good. He's not dancing. That man is doing one cut, hitting the hole. He looks like he's been coached up. I mean, he just looks like he's the offensive line. Not to mention, why can't I think of our right tackle's name? Right there, that's one.
Oh yeah, from Tennessee. Yeah.
Dude is crushing. They are running off of that right side, that off tackle, and it is just monster holes being open for him, left and right.
Nice. Swift get a breather every now and then too. Monangai getting in there, I think, is unlocking Swift's more like explosive area. It's a you can see Ben Johnson doing that. I know how to use 2 running backs. You've seen it before. Just give me a little faith.
He's getting that defense off balance, man. Yeah. But you cannot deny the Flacco effect.
Dude, the Flacco. Chase Brown for me. It's Chase Brown. Chase Brown's damn near my start of the week.
I'm up there, man, because like you said, Flacco ain't gonna run. Chase Brown catches the ball. He is getting like 3 out of every 4 snaps next to Pirine. So it's like You saw it last week. He gets a
last
lane.
week too.
He's a straight line runner, man. He's got that speed. So he gets a hole because you got to respect the fact that Flacco can throw it anywhere all over this field. So you can't just press the line and jam Chase all day. So they're forcing them to play real defense, I should say. And that is then opening up all this room for Chase Brown because you got these guys run wild down there, and Higgins and Chase. Yeah. So, yeah, Chase Brown for me too. Even though it's tough, man, because Swift just, like I said, he looks like he's running different. He's not. He's one cut hit, as opposed to the I can dance and I can make a move. And it's like, no, you can't.
Yeah, this is the call where I think if Swift gets into the end zone, I think he's got it. But if they don't get in the end zone, it's non-PPR at this point, which definitely hurts Chase Brown over Swift.
That's right. Thank you for pointing that out.
So I mean, that's it. Leans it in Swift's favor. I do think I'm still going with Chase Brown just because I think the identity of the team is going to be Flacco's going to drop back and he's going to sling the rock. And by the second quarter, I do think teams are just going to have to respect that we're going to sling the rock, and it's going to lead to a lot of easy, efficient touches for Chase Brown. And I think that the likelihood that he can break one, this is non-PPR, so he doesn't get the PPR bump from the catch.
Still
doesn't take away the yardage. And I do
exactly.
Flacco's going to be the guy where if they're just clearing it out because he's like, screw it, just go run down there. I'm going to hit you. If that happens and he can just get some mismatches in the middle of the field, I can see Chase Brown ending up with 40, 50 receiving yards on top of 70 rushing. And that's just a threshold that I'm going to take over Swift most days. I'm going Chase Brown here. I'm a Bears fan. It's tough, but long term, I think on most days I'd start Chase Brown, and the snap share difference. One's going to touch the ball more too. So, yeah.
Yes. Chase is going to get three out of four where it's more of a 50-50 right now with Swift and Manungai. And they both catch passes. So really it's not about the PPR, it's about the yardage. And I'm going to go with the snap share guy myself.
Yeah. I am hoping that it becomes a Tony Pollard situation with Dallas where less touches is better for Swift and a better offense is better for Swift, where like less is more because the offense is more efficient. I'm hoping that's the case. It doesn't always happen, but it could. So we'll have to see. Joe Phelan, 9383. Glad to have you here, man. PPR, Dobbins or Dobbs?
It's Dobbins for me.
Dobbins for me. Matchups cake.
Matchup, he's going to get red zone, and like I said, he still gets targets and touches. So he's owning that backfield over Harvey right now. It's not even close. Dobbs is just he's a 50-50 run pass offense, and he's not likely even the number one target there.
I don't know the odds for Dobbins anytime touchdown, but it's probably not good because he's probably getting in the end zone. It almost feels like he's kind of owed one in the end zone in a matchup where they're going to score 4 touchdowns. So
yes, 100%.
Yeah, he's getting one of those 4. Perk, how we doing, my friend?
Ooh.
Full PPR. God, Judkins or Rome? This is a rest of season question. This is a total fantasy points accrued. Okay, so it's not about who's going to score most points, though. So, Perk, if you can help us with the format, 2 wide receivers versus 3 is going to be a big deal here. 3 wide receivers is a huge change versus 2. I think it might actually affect the outcome a little bit. Let's pretend it's 2. I think I've answered so many questions for Perk. I'm pretty sure most of his leagues are 2 wide receivers, 2 flexes. So let's go with that, unless we get some clarity. And I'll scroll down and see if I can get some at some point here. Where do you think it? Talk me through it. How are you evaluating this?
So Judkins is a beast. He looks like the best running back of this group right now.
I haven't seen remember when Nick Chubb came on the scene when he came over. Carlos Hyde got banged up and he was the waiver wire wonder, and immediately he was like, that kid can play like right away, and it's like same team and he's doing almost the same thing.
Yeah, he's the offense. He's the engine of that offense. Where we're just talking about what are the Bears trying to do? They're becoming more of an efficient offense, trying to be like, Lions were always a great offense, but they didn't have to run a lot of plays. They weren't necessarily a high play offense. They were just a high efficiency offense. Rome is going to keep getting better. I love Rome. Just talked about how I just traded for him, all that. if we're talking about your standard start 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, it's got to be Judkins. He is just he's an RB1 waiting to pop in any single touch. And they're going to continue to run that offense through him. We talked earlier how they're going to learn. They're a slower paced offense, and that starts with the run. Stefanski wants to run the ball with. I'm sorry, it's not even. Did Stefanski get fired? Yeah, he got fired. Didn't he?
Did Stefanski didn't get fired? No, he didn't get fired.
No.
We're thinking of. I think I know who you're thinking of.
Yeah. But yeah, no. So he's But yeah, I still think he's gonna. It's gonna be Judkins. Judkins is handling the workload there. Rome is still going to be variance. He's going to have some big games. He's the red zone guy. He's the number 1 receiver there. But I feel more comfortable right now with Judkins rest of the season in a redraft.
Yeah, I'm going to take the cop-out answer because it's so close for me. I'm going Judkins because it's team build. I'm going to say Judkins rest of season because right now the running back position, the waiver wire is done. Mm-hmm. We were in on this rookie class, so everyone picked up all the sneak. People are picking up Isaiah Davis while Breece Hall probably plays. I mean, people like I don't know what leagues everyone's in, right? I mean, I'm in a combination of it's mostly hyper competitive. They watch hours, almost a day of fantasy content. Like they know half the time they're watching more shit than I am, right? And I'm producing some of it. And the whole take here is there's no sleepers at running back. There is no replaceability. No. There's still replaceability at wide receiver, in my opinion. So I lean based on scarcity because I think they're extremely close. But like, let's say I'm on the team, and I do this a lot. I grade a lot of my teams based on, can I make sure that my RB3 I take in a range that I'm happy with and is a good RB3. I judge a lot of my teams by when did my RB3 fall at where I wanted. It was a lot of Jaylen Warren was an RB3 I was hyper targeting this year, and those teams are crushing it because I have the infinite amount of safety stability, so I can chase who I want on the waiver wire. And that, that takes money to make money, cascades. When you don't have needs, you can just take, the best player available from the wire and get crazy with it. My teams that have Genty and had to go a little the Benson, I like Trey Benson a lot as an RB3. Those teams are where I'm like, it's clearly Judkins, right? Yeah. If I crushed it and I'm already doing fine, right? My Jonathan Taylor teams. If I have a lot of, JMO, if I have JMO, BTJ, and like Worthy, that type of stuff. Evans, right? That's where I'm like, no, then it's Rome. I think it's more the PPG that you lose from a need-based situation is more than the separation between the two players. So I think the team need is more impactful than the player rest of season. So use a judgment-based take here is my take. I think that's how razor thin they are. I'm not strong enough one way or the other. And I think that's going to spin itself into the best value for your team probably.
Definitely got to look at your roster construction when it comes to that, because to your point, that's going to help make or break you. The other thing I'd like to kind of just throw in there too is like when you look at these guys, they both have great ceilings, right? I think what you see right now is that Judkins probably has the better floor.
Even in bad matchups, he's 70 yards.
Yeah. So it's like, I think that's where the other side that I'm looking at. Like,
Rome's floor is not quite there. That's a solid point because you got to buy weeks sometimes. You got to buy weeks to get into the playoffs. And and that may just be one of these games where he got 10 targets, or was it 10 targets one game, but only caught 3 of them. Mm-hmm. And Caleb sometimes can sail it all over the place. And the nice thing with Judkins is he doesn't have to worry about that. They just stick it in his belly and does something. Yep. I'm with you. The team is going to keep feeding Judkins regardless. The team roams the future, so they don't have to feed him. If anything, they still got to figure out like that guy's to-do list is like, I got to get Rome involved. I still have to get Swift more touches. Monanga I haven't seen enough of. I haven't.
Loveland finally had his highest snaps here.
There's so many guys he has to get involved that Rome's like, Rome's the future, but I don't think he has to be the guy for sure. And now that the Bears are winning, it's weird that like we're going to start running the ball more. When teams start winning, they start protecting the ball. Our defense looks a little bit better. Our schedule opened up a little bit, so I think that's going to slightly fade away from Rome based on like matchup and comeback mechanics.
I think you're right there. I think you're right, and that's where I'm also looking at where I feel who do I feel comfortable rolling out each week that I'm going to at least have my floor like a Judkins becomes more of a set it and forget it than Rome.
Yep. I mean, if Ben Jay does his magic, we ran the ball 40 times the other day and we won convincingly. I think he wants to do more of that. I still think Rome is going to be eventually like, I don't want to say a better Mike Evans. He's a different Mike Evans, but I think he's the guy that scores like a touchdown a game. Like, he's just stupid elite in the red zone. But right now it's Judkins.
Yep. Good call.
Good question, part two, man. Very, very good question. Well, let's see. We've been going for an hour and a half. We are almost done here. Almost time to do the I don't know if you watch a lot of Hot Ones, man. I want to get the like camera here. Gotta do the thing, man. You big Hot Ones fan? You watch that show?
I haven't. I know of it. I know, like, obviously,
oh my goodness,
and I love myself some hot sauces, man.
Dude, you need to watch the show. I want to do a Hot One stream where we just do chicken wings and Hot Ones while answering the fantasy questions. I think that would be a dope thing. You want to do it?
Please. Yeah.
If you're in, you're doing it. We're committing right now. Anyone who's watching this stream, we are doing a Hot Ones Q&A sometime soon. You're going to co-host with me. This is going to be a riot. We probably need a third co-host to read the questions just so we can, like hands off the keyboard. Yeah. We'll get Phil, Mike, and the boys.
Milk all over the place.
If we can get Rost out of retirement just to watch us in pain, oh my God. I will order both sets. I will get them shipped to you. It'll be super, super good.
Down.
I'll get my buddy Bergie to send us some maple syrup from Canada. He's got a little maple syrup farm that, to kill the burn a little bit. We can do some maple milk.
Nice. Look at that.
Well, we can send a link. We can sell some random third-party product here. Sponsored by Hot Ones. Yeah, this will be fantastic. This is going to be a hell of a show. Oh my goodness. We're creating content while creating content, man. I'm gonna see you in a few weeks in pain. This is gonna be a fun one. All right, let's close it out. Kevin 24 Cardwell, you get the honors, my friend. And it's a good one. It's up our alley. When you make a dynasty trade and it goes totally wrong, does that make you a little gun shy about future trades, considering it sets you back a full year or two? What happens when you bomb a trade? You had an idea, it did not pan out. Does it make you gun shy? How does it this is a two-part question, right? It's not phrased in two parts, but it is two parts. It is one, no theory, no advice. How does it affect you? Like, really, the behind the camera when you're just looking at your phone. We don't make perfect decisions all the time, right? In fantasy, we have egos and what we can sleep with. How does it affect you? And what sort of decision-making heuristics does it make you lean towards? And how do you play optimally afterwards? That's three questions, but we're Dynasty. You've had this before. You've thought about this in depth. What do you think? Yeah,
it goes to the classic theory of it's you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And I've made plenty of bad mistakes. There's still one that eats me up on a team that I was crushing it, and I made a moved a bunch of capital, moved Montgomery, and I brought back Matt Ryan, and because I need a quarterback, and he was going to Indianapolis at that time, and we were all
quick intermission. Joe, the answer is Shaheed. I forgot you. I missed you there. It's Shaheed. We're gonna keep going.
Oh, sorry. And I had a choice. The guy said you could either take Kenny Galladay or I could take Deebo Samuel. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get Matt Ryan. He's going to be my quarterback, and I could take Kenny Galladay or Deebo Samuel. And Kenny Galladay went and signed this big contract over in New York, and Deebo was all busted up and all that. I'm like, I'll take Galladay. Yeah. And you just, this is years ago, and I still get upset about it. But you want to know what? You got to get back up. You do. And it's okay to feel like that you made the wrong decision, but always look at your process. That's where it comes down to. Was it a mistake in the choice, or was it a mistake in the process? For me, it wasn't a process issue. I picked the wrong guy. But I still was trying to do the right thing for my team. And that's what I still do every year. So it's okay to feel like a trade can set me back a year or two, like you said. No trade should be that significant, you know? But there's also there's the small moves that you can keep making to move forward. Did you get Aronde Gatson in the 5th? Did you get him for Fab? Did you get Puka? Did you give up on Kyron Williams after his first year, or did you hold on to them? So there's always a culmination of moves. It can never be one big move, just like in a football game. Oh gosh, that one play at the end, we missed the field goal. Okay, but let's go back and look at the game. How many chances did you have where you were net positive or negative? And then add that up, because it's okay to make one big mistake if your process was correct.
Penalty yards. One team had 80 yards in penalties. One team had 20.
Yeah.
You know, if you can make is the argument. Let me summarize and tell me where you think it's different, where you'd add nuance to it. It's more the big situations will come and go, and it may affect a winning window versus a productive struggle versus need to lean into this. It might change what you should objectively do, but the long-term 5-year, you've been playing Dynasty for a long time because you've seen the life cycle of early team things happened, then you did things about it, 2-3 year window. Yep. Across that, you're saying all the little decision points, the who you drafted and why, the stylistic trades that you try to do not just once, but once a year minimum, or multiple times of this example trade, right? If you can do all the little things, picking up off the waiver later in the season in Dynasty when it's still almost nothing, but that nothing could become a sell for a 4th that you can sell for a 3rd. I'm a big fan of draft, right? You can do draft to trade, where I will draft somebody in the 4th just to sell a week later because he's hyped for a 3rd, and I'm going to sell that 3rd during the draft for a 2nd. You can turn a 4th into an early 2nd within a year and a half pretty quickly if you've got to kick the can down the road. But you're saying all those tiny decisions, they're going to add up to more than the big decision, because you can it's going to over time. I think that the thing to recognize here, though, if you agree with that, is you can't make one big decision and one small decision, because then there's not enough small decisions.
Absolutely.
You've got to put in, not necessarily time, because if you have a good schedule, it doesn't take very much time, but if you do a lot of the good habits often and you're active and you can make 5 to 10 small moves to one big move, and if you're playing it correctly, or as correctly as you can, the small, definitely positive EV plays will make sure that no matter what happens in the big moves, just assume no matter how right or wrong you are, 50% right, 50% wrong.
Yep.
The small moves are where you actually long-term win. The big moves just put you way over the top, or they become really good party stories, right? Yeah. For your inevitable, I don't know about you, but you need a couple of I screwed up and my team's a tire fire, because it's honestly it's fun. If I have 3 teams that are winning, my rebuild's way more fun.
Yep. Hey, I have the startup where I went Lance Pitts first 2 rounds.
There you go.
But you want to know what? That team today is a championship team. And I ended up moving Lance with some other stuff, upgraded to Watson, and then I ended up upgrading Watson to Herbert. And now here I have so did it cost me? Yes. But now I have Caleb, I have Herbert, I have Penix, and I have Drake. And so I was able to start building up my team where I'm now I have a load of riches. And I have one of the top teams in the league. And that did it happen over a couple of years of building. I didn't allow that one bad draft or that one bad decision to define that team. I got back up and we keep moving forward. Dynasty is a game of it's emotional. It's highly, it's up and down. It's volatile, and you got to pick those windows. So sometimes it's the trades that you don't make and it's moves that you don't make, and then catching the right timing. I sold a lot of Kyron Williams for a first when he was coming up.
Love that.
But the teams I held him onto, he's now a cornerstone of my championship runs. So it's like, but on the teams that I'm rebuilding, now that team's been elevated because I didn't want Kyron's points those next 2-3 years. And I wasn't 100% sure he was, so I knew I could cash in now. So it's truly is, you're going to make mistakes. Don't think I'm never going to make a mistake. You will make mistakes, and it's okay, and you can recover. It gets better.
Yeah. I love the rubber band mechanics in Dynasty, and I'll truly admit this. Like, it's not an uncomfortable confession. I learn more about playing Dynasty on losing teams. I've leveled up over the years much faster to a level where I feel very confident saying, like, you should actually hand me some money and I will turn your team into it. I think I can give people advice. I feel very confident in that. And I'm a nerd for this stuff. So when I didn't win immediately everywhere, I took the book on Dynasty and figured out I'm going to solve this because I'm going to put in more time and effort and reps than anybody out there. And I feel like it took losing trades to go full stockbroker and say, and one thing I learned from that, from my first two in particular, like, this team, nothing worked and I probably broke it, but that's not important. The important thing was when I decided I'm going to have the best rebuild anyone's ever seen. I am going to be a banker. I'm a full investment banker. I'm a broker. No one's too expensive or too cheap. Everyone is for sale. I'll buy when I'm selling. I'll just play the market. And I'm doing a trade or two a week. I'm doing 40 trades that season. Absolutely unreal movement, paying attention to everything. It's fun because the least fun thing was seeing if I won or not. The more fun thing was the talking, the negotiating, the trying to set the like, all right, long term, if I'm willing to play in a 3-year window and they're only willing to play in a 1.5-year window, how do I find a value offset where, like, there's just no way I'm going to lose in the long run? It's a fun way to play because then while you're losing, you're winning mentally and it feels good while you're losing because you're looking at the buy low, sell high. You're looking at the, like, I'm accruing picks and I'm making them better. I'm selling picks and I'm making, and then the draft happens and you get to have this team that, like, you're the only one in your team that can actually legally have a beer. It's super fun. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's fun. I like that because my winning teams, like, you guys you do winners frozen thing. You do the, like, if it ain't broke, I ain't touching a damn thing. Like, no, I'm keeping every little, like, I might use this player once this year, but I'm not selling them. I'm keeping this, like, you bleed value as a winner constantly. Every player you buy, you're getting a worse deal probably, and you should, right? You should overpay to win a title. I think in those leagues where, like, all the winners should be willing to pay 10-15% tax to win more. And that means, like, it's a good league ecosystem because then the losers, if they get to manipulate and play the game a little bit differently, like, it becomes a fun ecosystem where the market flips every couple years. So just play the market better than those folks. So if I had answered the question, I get hyper emotional. I'm super pissed. I'm the first one that says, I got a 500 record. Guess what? I'm going to rebuild first. I'm going to rebuild before everyone else. Fuck it. Winning is so hard in Dynasty, but losing can be fun if you lose first. All right. Just don't lose last. Don't barely miss the playoffs. Miss them. And miss them real hard.
Like, just put a bow on this too. It's like, does it make you a little gun shy? No, it doesn't. It actually makes me want to do it more because of the exact reasons that you're stating. But, like, that mistake isn't going to define my team. I'm now it actually almost opens up a window that I can be a little bit more, dice roll, and make those bigger moves. And then that's how you end up with those big payoffs. The other thing I always tell people, don't be afraid to lose a trade. Don't be afraid to lose a trade today. It's like everyone wants, like, to pull the calculator out or do something like this and be like, well, I'm not going to give up a second for Joe Flacco right now. It's like, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? If you're a top 2 or 3 team right now, why wouldn't you give and you know that you need a quarterback too that you can throw in each week? I have no problem throwing that out there. If I've lost Burrow, if I've, like, got Daniels, and he's up and down and I got another quarterback you can trust, I'll pay that second, because if I'm paying a 210, 211, if I even don't win the championship, it's about giving up that risk today or giving up that risk tomorrow for those points today.
Yeah, that's so good too. Just don't be afraid. Like, the calculators are just based on trying to have a fair market value trade, not a how's it's going to happen trade, right? Because even the market value, you can look at some draft picks. Like you could say like, hey, Egbuka. Everyone knew Egbuka was going to be way better like a year from when he was drafted. Like guaranteed, it's built in, it's going to happen. There are running backs right now, your Devin Neals of the world, that are like, they're not going to be mad. They're not going to be relevant. They will absolutely appreciate in value unless they fall off the NFL roster. Like, so when you can look at examples like that, just do the trade as long as it's a situation where look at the appreciation depreciation curves. Those are going to be more influential than the third here or there, the second here or there. And to your point, if you're doing all the small things well, making sure constantly you're trying to grab the extra second, the extra third, the extra fourth, particularly the thirds and fourths here and there, you'll have enough dart throws that you can just pay the second. Who gives a shit, right? You'll have other dart throws. Just collect dart throws to pay up when you need to.
Yep.
It's going to be like Depp. He's an amazing Dynasty player, league runner, been doing this a long time. Put it on the screen because he's a good buddy of mine that could hop on the show and give advice right now if you wanted to. And that shit happened to him, right? Like that happened. It happens to the best of us. But
the process was right. His process was correct there. This is like you're looking at where Cup is, Debo is, and you're like, okay, maybe Cup gained something with Stafford coming that year when he went number one. Debo's coming off. He's broken. You don't know what it is. And he has this crazy outlier year where he gets how many carries and touchdowns. And it's like to say that you saw all those outliers coming together at once and then to get Cup and Debo. No, you didn't.
Mm-hmm. You saw the possibility. You saw the possible outcome. You saw one slice of the pie, but that pie was spinning and no one knew what slice was going to get picked, right? It was just
it's not like Keenan hasn't done anything. Keenan was a league winner a couple years ago for me when he was blowing up with Herbert, before he was crushing it.
The only caveat I'll say is when you're less comfortable and you're putting a lot of questions out, just do more small trades to level up, right?
Yes.
Just don't bury yourself in a big trade that you don't understand the complexity of because you're not ready. Learn through the small trades. Be wrong a lot on small trades, because you'll gain more in wisdom in future being rights than you do losing that individual trade. So if you're going to be wrong a little bit on a lot of small ones, level up. Just don't even entertain yourself with the big trade. Just say, I'm not ready for it yet. That's the roulette wheel where you're spitting a 45% chance because you're just not there yet and you don't know what you're up against. They probably don't know either, but you could be too wrong. And if you don't know how to rebuild at a really high level, I wouldn't put yourself in a situation where you have to.
Yeah.
I think just read your articles and watch the show. We're going to walk you through it anyway. And we'll get there. But that's how I would approach it. So
that's brilliant. The more shots you take at a home run, the more strikeouts you're going to have.
Yeah. You do enough little things right, you're going to afford a
singles and doubles
at the home run. Yeah. That's a great I love the sports analogies, but we're getting baseball. This is good. Hey, let's wrap it up here. The Mask Fantasy. Cool name, by the way. Don't know if you have a channel, but you should. You should get yourself a YouTube channel. That's cool. PPR 6-1 traded Pollard for Worthy. Need to choose a flex between Worthy, Kraft, and Tez Johnson. Finally, I got a Tez. Tez over Worthy. I found that one. I don't know.
Great move moving off of Pollard. Great.
Yeah,
I'm just going to say great move moving off of Pollard. Spears is coming on, and Spears is going to get more of those valuable targets. There's not a lot of red zone opportunities for that offense, but there will be a lot of negative game scripts for Spears to catch a whole bunch of balls. Last year, Spears was a league winner. He was an RB6 overall those final 3 weeks in the playoffs.
20 and 22 points in back-to-back weeks. Absolutely insane.
Pollard's not a workhorse. Pollard is not a workhorse, and that's why he was already starting to wear down. So first off, great move there. Love that trade.
All right, do you have a lean here? I just wanted to do that. I'm doing Tez over Worthy, and I like Worthy. I just like Tez a lot more this week. It's between Tez and Kraft. But what are your thoughts there?
I'm there too. Just like what I spoke about Worthy earlier, I feel he's on the decline. He had his moment without an injury. I don't think it's coming back. It's going to be. This is Rice getting his 8 to 12 targets a game, and then the rest kind of gets to everybody else. And so Worthy could be 2 or 5, honestly, in that rotation. And so that's nothing I'm loving. And so you're really looking for a home run between Worthy. But I still like Worthy over Pollard. Just saying right now, I think
like a lot, yeah. Like Worthy's inconsistent, but I do think we love the offense. Like,
yes.
if anything, Worthy's probably less hit or miss now that Rice is there, because I think he's going to be more smooth. And the offense as a whole being better is better than the target share going away.
They have to shift. They he's not going to get any double teams. That's for sure.
He was not catching any deep balls as the only guy out there. Now that he's the second option or worse, he actually can do better. So I think in a weird way, he's going to have more spike games and make more things happen, but we'll see. I think it's an offensive identity. I need the jet sweeps to come back for Worthy. If those come back and he can get those runs, that all of a sudden that's worth like 3 points a game. That gives him such a floor that he needs on those games. So like 8 points versus 5 is a big deal, right? Technically in fantasy.
First game as a pro. He scored 2 touchdowns, I believe, his first game last year, and one of them was off of a handoff, I believe.
I remember the one. Did he have 2? I remember at least 1 for sure, and I remember having a lot of him and felt very good, followed by.
But it's like you're like, hey, this guy, and like he
passes the eye test. I mean, that's what I like about him. No matter what happens, he's a good football player. So good coaching.
But between Kraft and Johnson, that's where I'm leaning to. I'm looking at these 2 guys, Kraft and Johnson. This goes back to what we were talking about before: pace of play, Green Bay running the ball more, and the Bucks needing a weapon. I'm leaning Tez Johnson here, and I love Kraft, man. He's a fun guy with the ball, but he's got 4 touchdowns in 6 games. That's kind of what you're looking for the guy. You're looking for him to catch a touchdown. It's highly likely, but I want the sure thing. This is PPR. Give me Tez Johnson. He's going to see the targets. He's the number 2 wide receiver there. Behind Egbuka, and Egbuka he's going to soak up that defense. Everybody's going to be running towards him.
More passing volume too, I think, right?
You got Mayfield, man.
Probably like
Mayfield
5 or 6 more expected pass attempts minimum.
Yep, I agree. So because of that, because of the volume, his target share, and what he can do with it still, I go Tez Johnson.
Dude, I've got to end on a Tez Johnson one. Let's go. Oh, I'm so excited for Tez Johnson. I'm like
unscripted.
Dude, I'm like Dynasty fired up for him. I'm so ready for him to be like, what? I'm trying to think of a modern day example of just
Tank Dell. Remember, like kind of Tank Dell, kind of like, before he got broke and they started thinking that he should be blocking at the goal line.
Yeah, the guy who goes from like, you can buy him from a 4th to like
first. I mean, people are paying late first for Tank, dude.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I traded 2 seconds for Tank in a lot of spots, and that was not fun. That was not some of the worst trades in my entire life involved Tank down fucking Houston. Oh my god, you want to end the show? I traded Lamar Jackson for CJ Stroud straight up at the beginning of last season. So you want to throw me and Phil talk about that all the time as the worst trade in history I've ever done. And I've pulled some brilliant ones off against other people, but I need them to know that I have thoroughly had my skull smashed intentionally, and I talked him into it. He was going to say no until I talked him into it on stream. That happened. Sometimes whiskey ain't doing it, but hey, man.
I love CJ, baby.
That's a show. That's Friday night. Almost 2 hours. Man,
that didn't feel like nothing. I'm ready. I thought this halftime.
Right? Oh, like, man, I might have to get to bed at some point for the kiddos, and I think the questions are about winding down. But in the waning moments here, man. So if you guys have been watching, we appreciate coming and hang out with us.
You guys.
John doesn't always stream with us. We'd like him to do more. I love hanging out with him. He's pretty good. I would love to give you the floor, John. Tell the fine folks if you've liked John's takes on things. He's a dynasty expert, but he just plays a crap ton of fantasy football, produces his own content as well over at Dynasty Nerds, which I will definitely, it's in the description of the video, so check that afterwards. I'm also probably going to have a little fly in here from the Dynasty Nerds website as well. But John, let's give you some camera love here. How do I get you on a solo? I don't know how to get you on a solo because I'm terrible at production quality over here. So I'm just going to let you do your thing. Tell the folks where to find you, what you have going on.
Yeah, you can see me at Dynasty Hammer on Twitter and Reddit. I do a lot of right now I'm doing the rankings for Dynasty Nerds, so that comes out every Friday. I'm also doing a Dynasty as well as debate series that's going to be on Reddit every Friday as well over at the Dynasty Nerds sub. And then once a month right now, I'm doing a Dynasty newsletter, Dynasty calendar for Dynasty nerds. And a lot of times in the off season, I'm doing a lot of grade the trades. But I'm always here to answer questions. I'm always here to just talk fantasy, talk football. It's the greatest, man. And I appreciate Kendall and the Get Right crew for allowing me on here and kind of being part of this for today. This is fun. This is some of the most fun things we can do, guys. Help iron sharpen iron.
Love it. Just throwing up a little bit of the website. Nice little article here. Week 8 fantasy football player rankings by yours truly, John Hammersmith. So check them out, dynastynerds.com. Love what these guys put out, and fantastic writer over here. So for all those back at home, classic, we love you. Rasta, didn't see you in the chat today, but if you watch this back, we love you. Appreciate everyone who got their questions in. Keep in mind, you'll see in the description as well, we've had our Discord. It's free. We go in there all the time throughout the week if you're having questions. We're always in there. I think it's just a wonderful space to share ideas, and then definitely check out the rest of John's content. Other than that, I think we can call it a day. Let's play some music. Let's win some games this weekend. If nothing else, play with your kids, take your dog for a walk. Let's be good human beings. Touch some grass. We're gonna need the anxiety pills on Sunday, so get all the family things that you can in. I'm just going to keep filling until I can find the button.
First week without an early one. First week without an early one in a while.
Right. We get to sleep in a little bit.
Yeah.
You know?
So get a moment to set your lineups this time.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit of a
Just
moment.
We're always
day drink
resetting.
and get in the Discord and send me stupid shit and ask me weird questions. I'm all about it, man. But for the rest of us, John, you're coming back on. We're going to see it soon. I'm going to get you in the Discord. We're going to talk about this. We're going to do a Hot Ones. So for the three people that are still here, Hot Ones challenge with Q&A. It's going to be crazy. We're going to promote the hell out of this. I'm ready for it. I'm kind of scared. I've never done the legit Hot Ones challenge, and I'm pretty sure I've seen the reactions to the bomb, and I'm going to cry on TV apparently. So this is going to be fun. This was a terrible idea. I'm looking forward to it. We'll talk about it soon, man. Let's play some.
Wanted to write fantasy is the play. Marking often, but I tune in every Friday. Strategies provided, I will lock in every way. So go